Hello friends. Few days ago I was playing a practice game with my coach where I played an evans gambit line where I made one mistake. We found this while analyzing, but the move sequence that engine gives after that particular mistake is completely wild, where white reaches an equalized position after sacking two rook and a bishop. Please watch this video till the end to know the complete line and its variation, so that it will add a new Venom to your own repertoire if you play Evans Gambit. If you enjoy it, let's get started with this. So the game starts with e4, e5, white develops the knight, black develops the knight, then white plays bishop c4 and black responds with bishop c5, and the next move begins the Evans Gambit, which is b4. White invites black to take the pawn and give a chance of rapid development to white. Black accepts this gambit. White plays c3, preparing d4 on next move. So white takes back the bishop to a5. White continues with its plan. d4, black takes the pawn and white castle. Now, as of now, white is done with developing two pieces. Queen is ready to come out on b3 to pressurize f7 pawn, which is weak again. White, dark square bishop is free to go, so it's semi-developed, you can say. And the only piece which is not developed as of now for white is the knight. We will see how it will continue. So black plays d3. The reason for the d3 is this pawn is attacked by three pieces already, so this pawn will fall definitely. So black doesn't want white to gain a central control with c takes d4. Alright, so black plays d3. It's a positional move which will keep the pawn of white's splitted. So right now white has 3 pawn island and it will stay that way. Alright, white continues with queen b3, and now the attack is on f7 pawn. One way to stop this attack is to play knight h6, but white will simply capture that knight by playing bishop takes h6, and it will also ruin the pawn structure, and it will become even more difficult to save this h7 pawn. White will eventually break the castle right of black, which is why usually black plays queen e7 to gain control of the f7 square. White continues by attacking the queen with bishop a3. White blocks it with d6, and now I play e5. It looks very logical to attack the pawn again. The pawn is pinned, so it cannot move. Also, it baits baits black to capture it with the queen, so that black can attack the queen by pinning the queen to the king. Right now it is not possible because the rook will be unsupported once the exchange happens on e5. So black takes the pawn, white takes the knight, and white completes the exchange with queen takes e5. Right now it is possible because we cannot play rook e1 because e1 is unguarded. So black takes with the queen. Now white plays knight d2. Now rook can come to e1, which will pin the queen to the king, and black will lose the queen, which is why black first of all play knight d7, knight e7 in order to free up its queen. White attacks the queen with a rook. It's very important to play rook e1 instead of rook f1. We will see how. So black continues by capturing the pawn on c3, and over here white first gives check. Alright, then black responds with by moving the king. This is the line suggested by engine. We know that there are other moves as well, like blocking with the bishop itself, which also reaches to the equal position. We will see how that will go. but right now we will see the complete line which was suggested by engine. So over here, white sacrifice the rook. It kind of gives the exchange sacrifice. Black accepts. White gives a check with another rook. Black blocks this by developing its bishop, and it's only logical because if the rook moves, then white will exchange a piece on by capturing the bishop, and it will only help black. The reason is, since black is already up in the material, and also the d2 knight is also unguarded, it will in any case it will only help black. So what white does, it gives another exchange sacrifice by sacrificing its rook. Black accepts, and now black gives another sacrifice by sacrificing its bishop. It will open the 7th rank, and queen will enter into 7th rank. Now over here, black plays king d8. Again, this is a line given by engine. We know that there are other moves as well, just like, let's say, king e8 and king f8. King f6 on the other hand will allow the fork of knight e4, which will fork both queen and the king, and white loses the black loses the queen. So king f6 is wrong. Otherwise, king f8, king e8 and king d8 all are correct. So white over here takes the pawn on e6, threatening checkmate on d7. Black will have to stop this, and black has two ways to stop this. One is bishop c7 or queen c7. Engine suggests queen c7. Black continues by taking a8 rook. Black responds with the king e7. White takes another rook. Black takes the bishop. White gives check. Black plays f6. White gives another check. Black plays g6, and now white sets another trap by playing g4. Now over here the threat is queen f5, which will eventually mate the king. So black takes care of it by playing queen d7, and now white queen comes to f3 to support its knight. How it supports its knight? Let's say if the black bishop takes the knight, then white will give check from d3 and will win the bishop. So here it comes, and white kind of repeats the move. It can also take the bishop right away, but this is possible to do here. And once the black completes this particular complete exchange, we see that white ends up with 3 pawns and a queen, and black ends up with 4 pawn and a queen. But since the position is so much open, there are so many possibility of repetition, that this game is basically draw. So this was the complete line sequence suggested by engine. Let's see what are the variations. So now it starts with e5, which was a mistake. Black completes this sequence of exchanges, and over here white gives this check, and we saw that there was one variation where this bishop can block this this check. So let's see how it goes. Bishop d7. Now over here it's important to take the sacrifice the bishop instead of rook. So sacrifice bishop. It baits the king to take the bishop. White completes this exchange, attacking the knight on e7. So black supports it, and now knight jumps to e4. The idea is to give another check, so that black is forced to pull the king further up in the board towards the center. So black plays queen takes a3. Now this will eventually lead to mate. How? White plays knight g5 check. Now it's important for king to come up. The reason for this is, if king goes f8, then after queen e6, the mate is inevitable at f7, and if king goes to g8, then after king e6 check, queen e6 check, it will go into smothered mate. So white continues with checking the queen, checking the king. Black takes the knight. White gives another check. Black takes it, and white brings out its rook to the attack. Now you see, if right now if white gets the chance to give a check, then the king has only one square to move, and which is g5. So black will have to do something about that, and then eventually it will force into mate. So let's say black plays d2. White takes the queen, and black promotes the queen. Wait a second, I will have to move it like this. Okay, and now this check will lead to mate. So this was the variation on knight e4. White cannot take the bishop on a3. Instead, the best move over here is queen c4, and it will only reach to the equal position as well. So let's go to the other variation which we had seen over here. Instead of queen c7, black can play bishop c7, so that black continues to keep a threat on d2. So black can take the knight on d2, but we just need to make sure that we never give a chance to the black, so that it can take the queen, take the knight, and threaten checkmate. So for that, first of all, we create a checkmate threat by playing queen b5, and right now there is a threat of checkmate on d7. So black cannot take the knight. Instead, black will also have to play a forceful move. One of them is queen c1, knight f1, and right now black do not have any other move to play. First of all, black will have to take care of this checkmate. So black will play king d7. White will continue with checking the king, and white will continue to check the king, and eventually it will force into a repetition. So in this particular position, we need to make sure that we do not fall for queen c4, which looks very natural. The reason for this is, if we play queen c4, black will tuck in the king to a1 by going via b2 to a1, and in that case we will lose this this repetition. So instead of queen c4 check, we need to give queen b3 check, and now king will have to go up and white will find the repetition. So this is another variation where the black fails to find any particular advantage even when there is a pawn on d3, which is very close to queening. Black has the complete chances of back rank mate, but nothing will work as of now. The only reason is that white will continue to play forceful move, which will either lead to checkmate for the black king, or it will fall into a perpetual. I hope that you will like this this line. If you like Evans Gambit, do check it out. It's a very wonderful line with so many possibility of mistakes from black side. Give it a like and comment on any variation that you want to explore further, and I will continue to keep on making such videos for you. If you want the text version of this, I will write another blog where I will describe each and every move in a textual format, just like a blog. So hope you will like it. Thank you.